Hello there everyone, and thank you for joining me at my tying bench once again. In today's tutorial I'm going to tie up a woolly bugger. It's a micro woolly bugger pattern. It's tied on a really small size hook. This guy here is tied on a size 10, and I'll tie him down to a 14, but I'm tying the size 10 for the video so you can see it better. And I tie these in you can tie them in an array of different colors, like blacks, browns, olives, even whites, purples. There's no limit to what colors you can make these little guys, and they do catch fish. So I thought you might like to see one of these little guys tied up, the way I put them together. So we'll get him out of the vise here and fresh hook in, and I'll get started for you. Now I'm using a 3906B, size 10 here for the video. And I got a small gold bead on the front. It's not a tungsten bead, just a regular gold bead. And for weight, I'm going to use some 0.15 wire here, lead wire, and I'm just not going to put too many wraps, probably 8 or 10 wraps right behind the bead here. Okay, that's 8 wraps there, so I'll snap that off. Wiggle the other end off. And shove that up into the bead. Okay, so now for thread I'm using some olive brown thread here, danville 6/0. And we'll start behind the lead here and just get a thread base started. Then I'm going to build a little dam behind the lead, and I'm going to jump up on that. Once I get that fixed there, the lead just popped up a little bit. We'll get that. There we go. Alright, now. Okay, I'm just straightening that lead up a little bit there, folks. Alright. Now we're going to work our thread down, then back up over the lead. That's going to be all covered up anyways with the, I use ice stub for the body, so. Alright, now we're going to work our thread down towards the bend. Snap off our tag end here. Now for the tail, instead of marabou, I use some olive rabbit fur off a zonker crosscut rabbit strip here. I'm just going to use some of the olive rabbit fur for the tail. Has really good action in the water. And this particular fly, I not only caught trout in the river, but I've had luck on it with stock trout as well. So we fish stock trout. Give this one a try. Now the tail I want about as long as the hook shank here, so we'll switch that and catch it in with a couple pinch wraps. Now I'll lift that up, move my thread to back the lead, catch that fur there, just like so, and I'll come back and secure that down well with several wraps. And I'm going to come back to where I want that thread to stop, just about to above the barb there, like so. Alrighty. And I'll trim off the excess there, the tail. Okay, and I don't put a lot of flash in this particular fly, just one strand on each side of the fly. I have some olive crystal flash here, so I'm just going to catch that in on my side. Like so here. Alrighty, then I'm going to turn the vise. Swing the other side around and catch that in on your side, the far side, going down the side of the tail. That gives one strand on each side, and I'll just trim those a little bit longer than the tail, just like so. Okay, next I'm going to attach a piece of fine copper wire here, extra fine. Okay, get about a 4 or 5 inch piece here and catch that in. Okay, catch that around that far side of the hook once again, like so here. Alright, put that in the material clip now. The body on this guy, I don't use chenille, I use ice dub on these patterns, so I'm going to make a dubbing loop. Take my finger here and come around. Make ourselves a dubbing loop here. Alright, then we'll wrap forward to behind the bead where we want to tie off. We'll just leave a little space behind the bead there. Don't want to crowd it too much, so we got material so we can tie our materials off without any trouble. Okay, now I got some UV light olive ice dub here, and if you don't have UV, just regular olive ice dub will work as well. It's just that UV gives it a little extra kick a lot of times. Okay, I'm going to place that in the loop here, and I don't like to put too much in. I want it to keep the body kind of thin on this guy. As you'll see when I spin it up, I like to spin it up nice and tight, the noodle. Once I get it to cooperate in the loop for me here. Now grab my little dubbing twister and hook that, catch that on there. Alright. Now move everything up a little closer. Make sure it's in the loop. Alright. Now we're going to give it a little spin. And I'll release it. Do this 2 or 3 times here. So I want to get it nice and tight. And I'm actually going to pull out the longer stuff because I don't want a thick body on this guy. Alright. Give it another little spin. Okay. Alrighty, so I'm going to make a few extra wraps on the thread there, and then I'm going to wrap the body. So use my rotary function here. Alright, we'll come forward. Okay, just keep wrapping that forward up towards the bead here. Okay, just move the thread back out the way, and I'll make a couple more wraps, and that'll be fine. That's the last wrap, and I'm going to tie it off here. Okay, lock that in good and tight. Snip off the excess. Okay, so there's our body, and I even like to take my fingers and just pluck out some of those real long fibers because I don't want those in there. A few doesn't hurt, but I just don't want too many because we're putting a hackle on this guy too. Alright, trim a few of those out. Alrighty. Okay folks, there's the body. Now I have a grizzly saddle hackle here, and I want the fibers usually to come down about to the hook point or a little past for these micro buggers. I don't want it too awfully long. So we're going to tie our hackle in right behind the bead here. Fold the stem back, locking it in place. Trim off that little tip there. Okay, so next we'll take our hackle like on a regular woolly bugger and just make a couple wraps here. Then we're just going to do evenly spaced turns going back. You can space them out or keep them close, whichever you decide to do. It's your preference. Alright, now I'm going to come around, and then I'm going to grab the wire we have here, and fine copper wire, and bring it down underneath. Grab it with my fingers and then come up, tie off our hackle tip, make 2 wraps over that, and then we're going to wiggle that wire up as we go, trying not to trap too many fibers, just like so. Tie it off behind the bead, a couple wraps, while always keeping good tension on your thread. And I'm going to fold back on it, and then we're going to helicopter that off, just like so. Now I'll come in with my scissors, snip off our tip of the hackle here. Okay, there she be. It's another size 10 olive micro bugger, ice dub micro bugger. So all we got left now is a few more wraps here to secure that down, and a whip finish, folks. So I'll bring in my whip finisher here, and we'll do a 5 or 6 turn whip finish on them here. Snug our thread down nice and tight. I'll come in and snip off the excess, and there she be. Now I'll just put a little drop of head spin on this guy, and as I was saying, this is a Great little fly. And a lot of different colors. I've had a lot of luck with this color, and black as well, and browns. And I'll just put a little dab head spin on them there, around those thread wraps. Get a little on the underside here. Okay, there she be. Okay. Not that difficult to tie at all. It's just the same as a large woolly bugger, just a lot smaller. And sometimes these small little buggers work better than the big ones sometimes. So, like always, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and this is, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you'd like to see more videos, hit that good old subscribe button there and the little bell so you know when I put new flies up. And if you have any comments, put them down below, because I always read all the comments that you leave. And I really appreciate you all watching, and I hope you tie some of these up and try them. And I want to thank you all for watching, and until next time, happy tying out there. I'll see you all again soon, and so long for now, folks.